Nail or beauty school was just the beginning, right? What on earth do you do now? Welcome to the Salon Success Podcast with Monaco Nail Academy. Our topics stretch beyond nails and into all things salon related, business, marketing, and social media, and at the very least hits you with real, honest stories about our experiences. This isn't school, this is real life, real business, and really freaking hard work. Before we get started wherever you are, thumbs up, tag a friend in the comments, or hit that share button and support small business. Hey guys, it's Penny here from Monaco Nail Academy, and today I'm joined by Erin.
Hello.
And Mikkel.
Hi.
And we have Crystal.
Hey. And just a reminder before we get started to use my code Crystal's Nails, which is spelled CHRISTELSNAILS, for 10% off all courses. I get a kickback from these enrollments, and they're how we support the production of the podcast.
Or you could use my code Little Moon.
And I've got one too. Mine is Michal, Michal.
So this is the first episode that we're recording for the year, although it's the third one you guys are hearing, I think, because I was super organized and I got everything edited and pre-scheduled before the Christmas rush. And what a time to be alive. That was the best thing I've ever done. So we're recording this a week or so before you hear it. But yeah, so we have a rough plan because it was requested that we revisit last year's goal-setting episode. But first of all, how's your guys' start to the year so far?
Wet and windy.
Hectic.
Hectic in what way, Crystal?
Kids, car troubles, health troubles. Well, not troubles, but issues. Just migraines, vertigo, headaches. It's been fun.
I think a lot of people are getting like, what's the saying? When it rains, it pours.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people's like 2026 is when it rains, it pours. And I say that without intending the pun of the massive storm that Mikkel and I have just gone through at our end of the country.
Are you still a little island?
I am no longer a little island. So because what Crystal's referencing is that for a while my town was completely cut off. Could not leave, could not enter. We're no longer an island. I think there are no towns left that are islands, although, Kotunu might still be an island at this point, at time of recording. Whangamata is no longer an island, but it's not an island. But yeah, we're pretty lucky. How was it at your house, Mikkel? Because you're about an hour and a half inland from me.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad in terms of rain, but it was super, super windy. And so like we had to make sure that nothing could blow away. Like I was scared something was gonna like blow into my windows and smash them all. So
we had the opposite. So for those of you listening overseas, we had in mid-January, late January, last week, we had a massive storm where my town got 3 months worth of rain in 24 hours. But we didn't have the wind. But like my backyard was under a full foot of water. But yeah, Cyclone Gabriel a couple of years ago was way scarier because of the wind, but the impact of this storm was greater. Like our road into town washed away. Like the asphalt from the top of the road is in the paddock next to the road.
we had lots of power cuts too.
Most of my town lost power and about half my town lost water. But I was extremely lucky. I'm just really lucky that I'm at the top of a slight incline and that incline runs directly to the ocean. So generally, unless the entire ocean fills up, I can't flood, knock on wood. But like people nearby, actually last night, because I've got Airbnb cabins in my backyard, last night I had a guy turn up on the doorstep who was like, I know that it's after booking time, but my house just got red stickered and I've got nowhere to sleep. Do you have any grounds? So yeah, I got off very, very lucky, and there are people, for those again living overseas who might not know about what's happened here, there has been loss of life. It's a very serious natural disaster, not on a massive, massive scale, but on a still scary and very sad scale. So I got off real lucky.
Yeah, it's pretty sad what's happened in some areas, eh?
Yeah, and I mean, like, obviously, because let's not have a super depressing episode, and we acknowledge that it has been a really awful, sad time, but from the perspective of business, it does also impact that, because like January, February should be quite a busy time in a beach town, and there's like a decrease in tourists because it's been advised. I'm not sure if it's been lifted now, but people were asked not to come to the Coromandel Peninsula because it was too much pressure on the infrastructure while they were trying to clear slips and fix water and things like that. So like, it's been a little bit quieter in terms of bookings, but in the same breath, that's kind of nice because it's a stressful time as it is, like clean up and like just all of that stuff. So you kind of want that little bit of mental recovery too.
But don't you wish I could come and do your garden?
You do not wish you could come and do my garden. I spent 2 hours yesterday so my garden is all garden. I don't have lawn. And I have like meandering paths and things like this. And because the entire thing went a full foot underwater, all of the paths are now, after yesterday, identifiable. But before yesterday, unidentifiable as paths, covered in mulch and dirt and all sorts of. A pile of pine cones that was near the fire pit is now scattered throughout the entire garden, and like just all the things. There was a bubbling like sinkhole in the middle of one part of my lawn.
Cool.
The pond became one with the entire backyard, so lots of people were like, lucky you don't have fish, because they literally would have been anywhere. Yeah, so you do not wish you were here. I bet you. Yes, I do wish I had help in the garden. You do not wish it was you. Alrighty, so this time last year, the first episode we recorded was a totally different group of people. Me, Mel, Pat, and Anthea. And what a way to see the drastic difference a year makes, because it was requested that we revisit that episode, but everybody's lives are in such different places now that the group who was available to record today is a totally different group than what we were doing a year ago, which is good. But I know both Mikkel and Erin re-listened to that episode yesterday and took some notes, so I'm pretty much going to let you guys lead. I know, Mikkel, you had a first sort of, we started chatting about it before recording. Do you want to lead?
So, like, the most interesting thing that I got from it was that everyone was like so pumped for the new year. They were like excited to leave 2024 behind, and everyone had all these goals and all these like things that they were going to motivate themselves with to like keep going. And it was just really interesting, like everyone's got all the motivation in the start of the year, and just to see that people's lives do change, and like you're not in control of what happens, but it's about still having those dreams to like keep stuff going.
Everyone was pretty sort of like motivated and excited and all of that stuff, and it was quite interesting because I did make some notes about what one of your goals were, Penny.
I did not re-listen to it, and I don't remember any of it, but one thing that does make me think of just what Mikkel said first is like sometimes we'll get people, prospective students, saying like, okay, but do you think that the industry is oversaturated with nail techs? And I'm always like, no, because there's people coming in and out. Like, not every person who signs up will. Sometimes they, like, I had someone literally email yesterday who signed up in October, but there's been a family emergency recently within her family, and now her role in her family is shifting into caregiver, not what it was previously, and it was a completely unexpected medical emergency. And she's emailed to say that she like through no choice of her own, can't keep going with the live lessons and complete her qualification. Like, you just don't really know what's going to happen. And then, yeah, there's like, I've been in the industry 18 years. That's pretty rare because the number of people who are super talented nail techs who no longer are in the industry, like Erin Allen, the other Erin, who, if you do our courses, you'll see her in a couple of the modules. She's doing, I'm pretty sure she's now in Australia doing like coding, like learning how to do. That's the last time I spoke to her. She was like actually moving to the South Island then, but I know she's now in Australia. And she was about to join a company and learn how to code and was just completely, she'd been in the industry of nails like 5 or 6 years and felt like she just had, her time was done and she was happy with what she'd achieved. And she was so freaking talented. Trudy's so talented. She's now doing vet nursing, I think. Like there's so many people that I could list who were significant talents who then things change and they're not in the industry anymore, or the way that they're in the industry changes heaps. So people who wonder if the industry is saturated, there's so much room for new people, because even like it's not just someone tries the course and doesn't feel like they're good enough or they don't pass or whatever, because anyone who wants to pass will pass. I think we're pretty good at giving people enough chances to really commit and do the work and get where they want to be. But yeah, even the most talented people won't necessarily stay in the industry for the rest of their lives.
I think for me as well, today actually marks exactly 1 year since I handed in my resignation from my old workplace, Niwa. And I remember listening to this podcast, well, a year ago.
Like the goal setting episode.
Yes. And like everyone's like energy there like helped me to set goals for 2025, knowing that I was handing in my resignation and being like, okay, we're gonna like do this proper. And that really like helped me to reflect on like things that have happened in the past year. So yeah, it's been really cool because that podcast did help me going forward.
And then this one, we're like, so everything fell down the side of a hill. Everything's saturated. Our health sucks.
Yeah, but from that podcast, I made goals as well. So like, even though I wasn't in that podcast, I still like did the homework kind of thing. And now I can look back at those goals.
Yeah, even re-listening to it. So it kind of motivated me to, because I'd kind of loosely had my goals in my mind. I had not written them down though, but now I've written them down and I feel a little bit more excited about this year and a little bit more motivated because I've put it to paper now. So I think just sometimes even hearing other people's motivation can help motivate yourself too.
I think by the end of this recording, I will feel super motivated. I think I'm still like a bit tired from just the stress of the storm, even though I got off lightly. And then, yeah, like by the end of this episode, I'm going to be like, fuck yeah, let's go.
I love that.
Bumping yourself up already.
What was my goal last year, Erin?
It was focusing on taking time with your line work because and being patient with it, because you were always rushing the appointment to get on to your next client, because quite often they hadn't booked for art and then they were requesting it. So yeah, how did you go with that?
Line work, I don't know. I think overall my work has improved because I have been taking more time to do it. I do think on the flip side though that literally last week there was a person who asked for nail art and they had booked 15 minutes and I said to them, realistically this is probably a 30-minute set.
Yeah.
But I can do I'll try and do what I can, except that actually realistically it was a 45-minute set, and I think I was even just like lying to myself, trying to be like, no, I can do it, it'll be fine. And then it actually kind of fucked the whole rest of my day. Like, it was the first appointment of the day.
Oh, no.
Kind of ruined the whole rest of my day in terms of timing. Not in a way that impacted clients necessarily, but it impacted me. Like, no one necessarily had to wait more than like 5 minutes. It didn't, because I did adapt it, but I wasn't proud of what I did. I'm sure the client loved it, but I wasn't proud of it.
Yeah.
And then some people were waiting 5, maybe 7 or 8 minutes, and I was just stressed. I was rushing. My gap to go and change over the Airbnb cabins became a third of what it should be. Like, there was no gap in between clients. Normally I have a little bit of buffer to go and grab some food. That didn't happen. Like, so it impacted me more than anything, but it made the day unfun. But I do think, like, what I did on the positive side of that was, I think I am getting better at saying, like, we don't have time for that today. And also, I did put up my prices during the year last year, which, interestingly, I actually think impacts this, because I do have, my nail art is a 15-minute block, 30-minute block, or 45-minute block. I don't charge depending on what product is used, because I don't think the amount of product that we use for any one set is like crazy enough to impact that pricing. Like, I fully support some people who are like charged by the crystal, stuff like that. But because I don't do a lot of work with crystals, the crystals I have are from AliExpress. Like, I used to have pots of genuine Swarovski and stuff like that, but that's just not who my client base is in this town. So you're either using a minuscule amount of glitter or a minuscule amount of pigment or a brush that's not going to be used up by the end of the person. So for me personally, my nail art is only being charged by time. If someone had me order in something specifically for them, I would quote it and be like, yeah, but I'll have to charge an extra $5-10 for that product. But that's just not really happening that often. Last time it happened was a couple of years ago with some dried flowers for a very specific wedding set. But yeah, so I have my nail art set out like that, and the price of that went up, as well as like basically everything else. And somehow the price is going up. You would think that then I would be trying to cram more into less time with the like people pleasing this. But actually, I think people are now just looking and deciding what they want more carefully. So actually, I think they're booking what they're supposed to be booking more often, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it's specifically related to my line work, but I think overall, the general goal.
Yeah, and your word was focus. So I think the fact that you raised your prices, that indicates that you were focused on your business, and you were talking about not having distractions from outside other people's stuff and things like that. So
I'm so pleased that I mentioned my word, because I didn't write it down. So but what's interesting though is I have a piece of paper stuck to the wall next to my monitor right now that at the top in purple felt tip says stay focused. So obviously I did have that word, but when I was setting a word for this year, I was like, I don't know if I set one last year. I don't think I stayed focused though. I think it was a lot of mental exhaustion that we were all collectively experiencing. I do not think I'm special here, but I did not run as many campaigns as I wish I could have run for Monaco. With nails, I would, because I don't have set hours, if I didn't have clients today, I might block off some time and then like try and focus on Monaco stuff, but often read a book or watch TV. not all the time, like I still, when I say this, I was still working 60-hour weeks, but they weren't focused 60 hours of work in the way that I wish they were and the way that I intended for them to be at the start of the year. But I think like I'm just realizing this now. In my head, 2025 looks like winter. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys, I know you're all spicy fucks, but so I don't know if you have the same kind of visualization brain. Like, you know, when someone says, what color is the number 3?
Red.
It is red, right? The number 3 is 100% red.
I went green.
I've never thought about that.
Okay, then, Erin, what color is the number 7?
Blue?
You're a spicy
No.
fuck. It's not blue, but you get it though. And so
Wait, what color do you guys think 7 is?
7 is green, but I can only see it next to 8, which is purple.
See, I think of 7 as like yellow or gold.
No, 6 is yellow.
No.
So we're in the same space.
Yeah.
But 3 is a 1,000,000%, hands down, 3 is red. But so with things like that, if I think about 2025, it is winter.
Yeah, I can kind of see what you mean. I felt like that too as last year. I felt like I was just trying to get through the year.
Wow.
Like each day, it was just one foot in front of the other. Yeah.
Yeah. And like even when I try and think of what I did in 2025, all I can see is what I did in winter. Like Ashley was using my desktop computer a lot because she was helping with editing throughout winter. So I was often on my laptop on the couch. And like I just feel like I spent all of 2025 sitting on the couch trying to focus, which isn't true at all, but that's what it looks like in my head. Hey guys, Penny from the future here. Want to take your salon to the next level? Discover the Salon Success Accelerator. 8 weeks to unleashing your salon's full potential. Gain complete access to the Salon Success course, where you'll learn how to build a solid business plan, develop a powerful brand, set the right prices, and create effective marketing strategies. Plus, benefit from 30 hours of additional recorded content, weekly one-on-one coaching sessions, and our exclusive group chat for personalized support. Starting every first of the month, this accelerator program provides a structured path to achieving salon success. Join today and master your salon success at www.monaco.ac.nz/course/accelerator. Well, did I have any other goals that were interesting?
You didn't talk that much.
I love episodes when I don't talk that much.
It was just about an overall mindset shift.
Well, I did not do it.
But
Yeah.
this year,
Yeah. Well, this year I have a whole new different... Do you guys ever set a word of the year?
yeah.
I haven't done in the past, but I think this will be my year to do that.
Do you know what it's going to be?
Growth.
Ooh, that's a fun one.
See, I was thinking growth for my business as well, like the word for the year.
Mine's just growth overall.
I don't want to say me too.
Why not?
Well, I don't want to say me too, but like that is along the lines of what I'm thinking. And I actually feel like last year for me wasn't winter, it was spring. But then this year I want it to be more like spring.
Yeah, like late October.
My birthday!
The whole year is your birthday.
Yeah, sounds good.
My word for the year, because I do have it written down, but I will forget it. So I'll tell you now, and then you can tell me again next year what it was. But my word for the year is boundaries.
Nice.
And
That's a
I'm
good one.
practicing it too. So one thing that really so I've talked about it already, but when I changed my prices, I had that one lady who had a very negative reaction and was very mean to me and is still being mean all around town, but she's also on her 4th nail tech since me, so it's not just me, is it? But the thing is that I knew for a year, maybe a year and a half prior, that I did not enjoy doing her nails and I didn't want to be doing her nails. And yet I still saw her outside of like I said, I don't have set hours, but saw her outside of hours I wanted to be doing, or didn't charge full price because I knew she'd be mad. Like, I just did not set boundaries with her, and then I didn't look forward to doing her nails ever. Like, why live like that? Why have a person that I dread seeing once every 3 weeks? And like some like non-Monaco working relationships where I just was like, oh yeah, that's probably fine. And that's not even a specific example. That's my general like, yeah, okay. And then all the time with everything, I'm like, oh, okay. And then I'm always suffering the consequences. But literally yesterday, I had 2 things I did. So first of all, I have already, in the previous 27 days of this year so far, I have been practicing, and I have changed some non-Monaco working relationships already, and they're for the better. And I have changed like things in the salon and the house and stuff that I didn't want to do because some people's opinions were to not do it. Did it anyway, love it. But literally yesterday, I had a builder come here to put gutters on my 2 cabins so that I can get code of compliance. And the first cabin, I saw it, was like, actually, that looks incredible. It looks so much better than I thought it was going to look because the cabins are quite small, and I thought the gutters would like ruin the look of the roof line, but the nail cabin actually looks so chic. But then they did the back cabin, and they left without saying goodbye, which is fine, tradies for you. And I went out to have a look, and that cabin, the gutters were supposed to go down into my pond. But they had put the gutter pipe, the down pipe, across a path to get into the pond.
What?
And then I had a pile of river stones and sand that I had dug out of a path I was replacing, and I had piled them up in an empty garden bed. And they had taken this pile of river stones, sand, and dirt and just basically dumped it on top of the pipe, on top of my path, and like been like, oh, you can't see it now. Like when my dog thinks I can't tell it's him barking because I can only see his butt. Like but the thing is, I would have normally been like, oh, it's probably fine. Like, I don't know, I don't want to have conflict or whatever. But I text him straight away, and I was like, hey, like, thanks so much for the work that you did today, but I'm not happy with how the pipe is. Like, I know that my garden needs a bit of a tidy up after the storm, but like, surely you noticed that there's garden edging and like path edging and stuff, because there's just leaves over that path. Like, still tell it's a path. And I was like, those were river stones waiting to be cleaned and reused. Like have the dirt washed out of them. I'm just a bit disheartened because I do work really hard on my garden, and like, what the heck? And I said it really politely, but literally within 2 hours, he was back with 2 bags of white pebbles that he had. That's what the path should be made of. And he was here. He dug the thing in. He repositioned the paving stones. He redid the white pebbles, like within 2 hours. And he was so nice about it.
That's
and
good.
then I also, my neighbors on one side have a grapevine all along the fence. It's a rental property. Everyone in town has issues with the landlord because he owns a lot of property. Not issues, but like he can be very difficult to deal with sometimes. But the grapevine, if I don't cut it back to the fence every week, it will take over my property. And because it's been stormy and stuff, I hadn't been out in a couple of weeks, and my plum tree was full of it, and like,
Oh no.
and their vine is full of passion vine moth. So that means that if the vine comes to my property, it's harder for me to manage pests on my property. So even though I don't like dealing with this man, I text him and I said, can you please either maintain or remove it? Because he has previously, a couple of years ago, been like, well, I'll just get rid of it then. And I was like, oh, it's probably fine. But this time I was like, can you either maintain or remove it? Because it's impacting my garden and property. And then he came back and was like, yeah, I'll get it sorted.
Yay.
Yay for boundaries.
Yeah, so that's my word of the year.
Yeah, I love that for you, Penny.
And also refocus.
Come to think of it, I think I subconsciously had boundaries for last year, but I just hadn't claimed that as my word. And I did practice it. And it's interesting where I've ended up in some of my personal relationships because of it. Even a couple of my working relationships too, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From what I know, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been like, it was a really scary process for me because, as you guys know me, particularly you, Penny, I'm not good at that. And but it was such a good journey. Like, it was freaking terrifying, but it's all worked out for the better for me. And I'm just like, yeah, actually, I think I need to do this more often. Yeah, so that's cool, and I love that that's what you're doing this year. I think
I
that's
just
really
don't
cool.
have a choice. I can't keep going the way I've been going.
Yeah, yeah, and I think I hit that wall too last year, to the point where I was like emotionally burnt out from sacrificing myself, you know.
Yeah.
What was yours, Crystal? Growth.
Growth.
So with the growth one for your business, is there anything specific?
Getting some more regulars and just clients consistently for the weeks.
Oh, I was just gonna say, if you had set some like smart goals around that rather than just like more clients, like what does that look like?
So one regular client a week, and then 2 other clients each week, whether they're regulars or one-offs or whatever.
Yeah.
So you basically just want one client every week. Is that what you're saying?
So 3 clients all up.
You want 3 clients every week.
Yeah.
I think that's very achievable.
Yeah.
Which is part of a SMART goal.
Yeah. I think I've got at least a regular each week, I think.
Now,
Yeah.
so if you're looking at growth, do you want to already like have that mindset in place and make your goal that you have now like reflect that growth? So actually increase your number and have it as a goal that you can work towards rather than already having achieved it now.
Yeah. Well, I need to double check whether they have achieved it yet, but yeah, then I'll probably increase it. And I've got my youngest going to daycare for more hours starting from next week, so I can increase my client hours as well. So
That's exciting.
it is.
Also,
Yes.
it's also kind of weird, isn't it, when your youngest goes off and starts doing that?
Yes.
Bit of a transition period.
Yeah, because she's up until next week, she's only been doing half days, so
Oh,
yep.
She'll be buggered.
Yeah.
Hopefully she comes home and just crashes out for you.
Well, not until bedtime, because
Oh yeah, at bedtime.
she might have fallen asleep on Friday on the couch at 4 o'clock and then not woken up till 7 o'clock. And then she was awake until about 10:30, 11 that night.
Yeah, that's not fun. I remember that happening with my daughter. Even though she's nearly 18 now. God, how old is she? She's 17. It's like, what the heck? That comes around pretty fast too.
Oh no, don't say that.
What about you, Mikkel?
My goal for this year,
Yeah, your word was growth.
yeah. So I want to have 20 clients per month. Which is like doubling what I had last year. And I think like if I push, I can reach it. And then I want to hit 20K in revenue for the year, which is again probably double what I hit last year. And I want to finish my foundation certificate in nanotechnology. Those are my 3 big goals.
Woohoo.
But then like I have other things that are kind of like in the background. So one of my friends is just started her training through Monaco, and she may be joining me here in the salon like later on in the year, and like she wouldn't become my employee, should be working like here on like commission, and it would just probably be a couple of hours a week, which then kind of would give me like a little bit of passive income if she's working in here and I can just like do house stuff. Um, and yeah, I guess the other thing that I'm trying to do is um, make it so that my husband can see that I'm like being successful. Um, income wise, it's been like a big change shifting from science to working from home as a nail tech. And it's not going to be the same, but it's like just, I guess, I want to show him that it's still like doable and successful, and that, yeah, I guess there's still more to life than money, but yeah.
But then also, like I already spoke to Mikkel about this, but because of being in a holiday town, a lot of my clients that I get over December, January are from out of town, right? So they're here for either they're here on holiday, they need a backfill, or they're here and they want a special occasion, nails, or like whatever. A lot of my conversations are, oh, where are you from? Blah, blah, blah. Over that time period, I had so many clients from Morrinsville, where Mikkel lives. And in Morrinsville, there's Mikkel, Hannah, Zendre, Christina, but she's new. There's another one.
And Rochelle. Rochelle is new.
Oh, yeah, and Rochelle, but she's new. So 3 established Monaco nail techs, Hannah, Mikkel, and Zendre in Morrinsville. Not a single person that came to me from Morrinsville had heard of any of them.
Wow.
Is that a dig at them? No. But it is a point to what needs to be redirected, because these people were like, oh, I just go to, and they were always naming one of 2 cut price salons. One salon that I don't know it's necessarily cut price, but it's definitely high volume, and another one that is more targeted as being cut price. But not a single person was not going to them because they couldn't afford them. It's because they'd never heard of them before. And it is not a big town where you can just disappear into the ether and have someone never heard of you. But I said this to Mikkel and Hannah, that like, guys, they've never heard of you. Like, how do we get out there more? And I think like a lot of people, not specifically Mikkel and Hannah and Zendre, but a lot of people out there are like, well, I posted on my social media and I posted in a community page and then that's everything. But like, you have to, again, now not specifically Mikkel and Hannah, you have to go get the clients. Like I have spoken so much about how when I first started, I just treated getting clients as my full-time job. We talk about hustle hours. We talk about in how to set your prices that you should have a set number of hours you want to work each week. And if it's not a client, you should be working on getting clients. And then so on the one hand, it leads into how Mikkel's priorities aren't to be necessarily working a 40-hour work week. Like Mikkel wants to be raising ducks and planting plants and building like dog runs and like having a balance between things she loves to do that don't make money and things that she loves to do that do make money. And that's where some of that change from science to nails is going to come. But overall, for the people listening, I don't want you to hear that and be like, oh, Mikkel's filling in her time with gardening because there's no clients. No, Mikkel has like 2 very separate sets of goals almost, like, or like things that you want in life, right? Like, correct me if I'm wrong. But like, you have to go physically get the clients. Like if Mikkel wanted to have a fully booked, like 40-hour week, you've got to be going out, and this applies to Crystal as well with the growth, because I know that when Mikkel and Erin were saying like, oh yeah, 3 people a week, that's so achievable, and I'm thinking like, well, based on my conversations with Crystal, actually the biggest hurdle isn't the number of people, it's the like mindset of I can do this, I do deserve it, I can go get those clients and have those clients. And both, for those of you only listening, just so you know, Crystal was nodding vigorously then, and Mikkel was also nodding when I was talking about her things. But like, so say, for example, I'll say Mikkel's specifically, but like, if Mikkel wanted to be fully booked to show to her husband that she can make the same amount of money, blah, 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 you've got to be spending 40 hours a week or whatever going out to cafes and doing free nails for the cafe owners, and going out to parenting groups and introducing yourself and doing a free mini manicure in the corner while someone's having a tea and coffee group with their little ones. You've got to be going out to the Pilates studio, the yoga studio, wherever your avatar is. It could be a tattoo studio. We've talked lots with Pat on previous episodes about crystal shops. Like, wherever your avatar is, like when I first moved to this town, it wasn't just a case of post on Facebook and hope they come. For the first like maybe 8 to 10 weeks that I was here, every Monday I would post in the community group and say, like, everybody nominate a local business that you think deserves to have free nails this week. All of the businesses are small. There's no business with 20 employees, and people would like tag in their workplaces. And then I would go, okay, cool. So this week it's Two Tides Bakery. And I might do 3 or 4 sets of nails for the people that worked at Two Tides Bakery. But that meant, because I specifically targeted local businesses, that meant that now anyone who went in for coffee was going to see my work. And then the same thing for the next week would be a different business. But I was getting engagement on that community post that I wouldn't have got if I was just like, buy my stuff. But also my work was getting out there into town, and then people were like, that's so nice of you. Like, I was getting a reputation for being so charitable, even though it was just marketing.
I love that idea.
Yeah, it worked so well. And like I've said to Josh as well, who's starting up a business in a different town at the moment, I'm like, you have to go out and find your, like, his avatar is male, but I'm like, you have to go out and find your queen bees, like your people who are going to spread the word and talk about you and stuff like that. Like, go and pick out people in the community that you know are really active in community groups and offer them a free manicure, and then give them a pay it forward voucher and say, okay, cool, I really want to be active in the community and supporting people. So at the end of your appointment, here is a voucher that you can then give to somebody who they can come and get a free set of nails. And as long as you only, like, that next person that books, you say, okay, cool, here's your voucher. Well, if you start having one person a day with these vouchers, all that happens is when the next one calls you, you say you can't take them until Thursday. Like, you can space it out and control the spacing and be doing one of these free pay it forward things like once a week, but word will get round, you'll be talked about and stuff like that. Like, going into the schools, if your avatar is a mum, getting nails on the receptionist, getting nails on the coaches, like whoever it is that you think parents are going to be coming into contact with. Go to the PTA and offer a free manicure to everyone on the PTA. Like, the cost price of doing a gel manicure is like $2. You're going to spend more than $2 chucking it on a Facebook ad that doesn't do anything. So, not because Facebook ads don't do anything, but because most people throwing money at Facebook ads don't know how to make them do anything. But you're going to throw that $2 away anyway. So why not take your time, do work for someone, spend $2 on the product that you use to do their nails, and go get the client. Like, I was regularly driving 40 minutes to then pay $15 for parking, to drag all my crap into a workplace, to do a bunch of free nails for someone who, like, for a PR company or whatever, like different companies that I thought would actually get the word out there. Or look up local networking groups, look up BNI. That's what it is, BNI? I think it's BNI. Yeah. And then Venus is another, like, branch of networking groups. There'll be other networking groups that are out there doing different things. Go to the leader of that group and be like, I'm offering free nails this week to every person in your marketing group. Like, it is marketing to be working, because ultimately, like, if you fast forward, look at Monaco, 14 years in, almost every single person that enrolls on their pre-enrollment form says they heard about us through word of mouth from another nail tech. So, like, we work in an industry with a Monaco or salons that requires a lot of trust. People have to trust your brand to want to walk in and give you a bunch of money. So, like, getting word of mouth going is the best marketing you can do. So, for those of you who want to be growing this year or proving things to your husband or whatever, you have to go physically get the person and, like, metaphorically grab their hand and drag them into the studio. And then once they're out there, they will tell people. The next time someone says, like, where'd you get your nails done? Or I'm thinking of getting my nails done. And then they've at least heard of you.
Yeah.
That was this week's rant.
Yeah.
Hey guys, Future Penny here again. Just a super quick interruption to let you know that if you head to monaco.ac.nz/subscribe, not only can you sign up to our weekly newsletter, but you'll also get a free video lesson from our course, The Art of Pigments. That's monaco.ac.nz/subscribe.
I love that, Penny, because literally as you were discussing that, I saw someone post in one forum on Facebook. I can't tell you exactly what it was. Well, I could look. But anyway, they're looking for someone to do a set of nails for them cheap for their friend's wedding or something. And I just commented, what's your budget? There were like some snarky comments like cheap, haha, or something like that. And I was just like, so I just commented, what's your budget? Where are you based? Blah, blah. And they said Christchurch. And I said, follow Little Moon Nails. And then they said, they can't message there for some reason. Don't know why. But anyway, she asked me to direct message her, so I did. And I'm in the process of hopefully setting up an appointment. So that's quite cool.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just like me seeing somebody asking about something. So it's a similar thing. And just, putting myself out there, I guess.
Well, it's like with Josh's mobile mechanic business. I've been flicking onto his business socials every morning, and for literally 2 minutes, I scroll the timeline, follow any new local business that I see, and like everybody's post that I already followed. And he's already getting messages from people like, one of them is a car detailing business, which he doesn't do, but it is the same avatar because he's doing mechanic and they're doing detailing. And I followed them real early on. I like everything that they post. And then they messaged the business page and were like, hey, what's your price for some, I don't know, whatever mechanic-y thing they wanted done on their own car. But like literally all I had to do was like some posts.
Yeah. So social media does work as well. I think it's just about learning how to use it effectively, I suppose, because it is very easy to have a lot of time go down the toilet when it comes to, well, for me it is, when it comes to social media. I get way too easy.
Socializing is a two-way street, right? Like you don't go to, I mean, my rants on the podcast excluded, you don't go out for drinks with the girls and then like just talk to them and expect them not to talk back. Like it's some listening, it's some talking, it's some nodding, it's some like engaging. So if you go on social media and just scream into the void and then expect people to come back, you can't. You have to be like socializing, like a two-way street, going out and engaging in the right stuff, making sure that it is like a car detailing business or whatever. But social media, so many people think they can scream into the void and then magically get clients. And unless you can go to the top of a cliff, scream at a bunch of people and get friends from it, I don't see how business would be different.
Yeah. Only making friends was that easy.
Cal and Crystal, did you have any thoughts from my rant?
Yeah, well, you gave me ideas for some more marketing things to do. But like, I guess to come up with a action plan, like going forward, this month I'm going to actually start physically putting money from my business account into our personal account so that Hayden can see I am paying myself and paying the bills. Because before I was kind of sitting there and I wasn't technically paying myself. I was just leaving the money in the business account. And then if we needed money, it would come out as drawings. which is a different way of paying myself. So starting this month, I'm actually giving myself a wage. If I want to see 20 clients per month, if I break that down, that's 5 a week, so 1 a day. And I'm going to reduce my hours from I'll be open all the time, but I'm going to reduce my actual working hours to 8 hours a week. So that would fit in the 5 clients per month and then the extra admin. And then I would pay myself for those 8 hours a week. And I think that will also help with, say, how my husband sees me working, because that means that the rest of the time I'll be doing stuff in the house. So that will keep him happy.
Yeah, and then technically you're fully booked.
Well, yeah, fully open.
No, what I mean is his perspective. If you're available to be working 40 hours and then you have 3 clients, then that's a quote unquote fail. But if you are available for 8 hours a week, 5 clients and then admin, and then you achieve 5 clients a week, you are now fully booked, which is a whole different kettle of fish from psychologically that perspective.
Yeah. And I guess it also will help if I've seen all of those clients and fully booked, done all my admin work for the week, done the 8 hours, then he knows there's a cutoff. There's no me he thinks that I'm living my salon.
Yeah.
I'm always in here. Yeah.
I have 2 thoughts, more for people listening than for you specifically, Mikkel, because I know more about your personal goals and stuff being IRL friends, but more for people listening. I have 2 suggestions if you're in a similar thing. The first one is, so I also obviously love to garden, want to have a balanced life, blah, 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 but also want to be able to make money. So one thing that I do in my calendar is I don't want to have set hours personally, but I want to have enough time to be out in the garden or read a book or do whatever. So at the start of the week, it starts on a Sunday. Every Sunday, there's a big 6-hour block of gardening. But what if Sunday's raining? You don't know. So that block in my calendar is completely malleable, can be moved to wherever. So if I wake up and today I feel motivated, or it's not too hot but it's not raining, or whatever, that block gets moved into the space. Now, obviously, I might already have some clients pre-booked, but you can also look at a weather forecast. If I look ahead and see that in 2 days' time, I only have 2 clients, my first thing I do is then check the weather forecast to see whether I move that block into that day, which would then open up Sunday to take clients. So my hours haven't reduced, but I'm just making sure that I get that time to do my little home duty things. And you could do that with 3 days if you really wanted to, that looking ahead on the 10-day forecast, you move 3 days of gardening / home stuff into the 3 sunniest days of the week in the forecast and let people book around that. That's something that someone could do if they had similar goals to what we're talking about. And then the other thing I was going to say is the way that Mikkel's goals work out is 1 person a day would satisfy the goal, right? So again, Mikkel's already said she's got a plan for how to do this. So I'm more addressing people with similar goals that are listening. But if you know that your goal means you can do 1 person a day, and this might actually more apply to you, Crystal, really, with your little one going off to daycare and stuff as well, is if you know you want to do 1 person a day, then you wake up, you get the kids off to school, you tidy the house, put the dishwasher on, and then your only job is to do 1 client. And if that means that what you do is you get dressed, you go out to a cafe and you say, hey, I'm Crystal and I have a new salon in town. My only goal today is to do 1 nail client. It will be 100% free. Don't care. What time do you finish work? And they say, I can't do today, so sorry, blah, blah, blah. And you go, okay, great, next door, off to the clothes shop. What time do you finish work? I want to do your nails for free. There's no catch. I'm just trying to get out there and meet people. I'm terrified of doing this, and this is the way I'm pushing myself. And they go, I don't get my nails done, sorry. And you go, okay, cool. What about your toes? I've got a fungal infection right now. I can't get my toes done. Okay, great. What about, do you have relatives? Do you have like whatever? I don't care. No, dead end. Great. Next place. You go to the hardware store and you say, like, our hardware store is completely run by women. So in my head, the hardware store is a
Love that.
legitimately logical place to go next. They all have my nails on. There's not a single male employee. But you could also walk into the hardware store and say, I'm offering free nails. Do you have a partner at home or a daughter or someone who would want free nails done today? I've got one space today. My only goal is to do a set of nails. And you literally go out and you don't, it's pissing down with rain, you don't want to go outside, start calling them. If you don't want to call them because you're a millennial, start emailing them. Like, whatever you have to do, if you have an 8-hour workday, it is not on any planet going to take you 8 hours to find someone who wants their nails done. That's just not a thing. You can put in, sometimes it'll be the first person you ask. Sometimes it might actually take you 2 or 3 hours to find someone, but maybe a couple of people booked in for later in the week. But like, if you have one spot a day that is 100% available to do clients, I promise you, if you committed 100% to your only job in life is to get a client through the door by the end of the day, in a month, maybe 2, you'll be fully booked. You won't be asking them. They will be coming to you. You just have to head down and like hustle the shit out of it. Like for me, my hours were like 8 hours a day, 6 days a week. And in 4 months, I think it was 4.5 months from when I went full time, I was fully booked. But that 4.5 months, the whole time was when I was driving out to PR companies and like replying to people's tweets because there was no Instagram. Like going, like hustling real hard and being like, who wants their nails done? I will do it. Messaging my friends who were local and being like, hey, would there be people at your workplace that wanted their nails done if I came to your workplace and did a group booking? Like, same thing with clients I had already seen, being like, hey, if I came to you, do you have 2 friends that would want to come with you? And the very first time I'll do it half price.
Are you not worried that if you keep giving free manicures, that like you're not going to get people that want to pay?
No, because I don't give a shit. First of all, I'm not going back to that person again. Like, in 3 weeks' time, I'm not starting back at the first clothes store. Like, no, they had their chance. I'm going out to someone else and someone else and someone else and someone else. I'm never going back to the same person a second time. If they want their nails done again, they can pay. Second of all, this is a marketing exercise, not a money-making exercise. So I'm not offering that person free nails because I think they are going to come back for the rest of ever. I'm offering them free nails because they know people.
Yeah.
I don't need them. I don't need that one person to be giving me money. I need that one person to know who I am. Like, because your number one issue with the people that I told you about, like, I'm not kidding when I say 12 people probably over December, January were from Morrinsville. The number one issue is not that those people haven't paid you. It's that they don't know who you are.
Yeah.
Like, so when someone says like, oh, I really want to get my nails done, but I've had a bad experience at that place, blah, 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 and I don't really know where else to go. You want that person to be like, well, actually, I went to this girl once and like, I don't remember her name, but I know she was on this street. Like, whatever they know about you, they have to know something. So no, I'm not worried at all. Well, I mean, put it this way, I'm 14 years down the path from when I did it and I'm making money.
Yeah. The crazy thing also is that those people that have had a bad experience at that salon still go back there. Like, because they
don't have anywhere else to go.
Yeah.
Because they literally do not know that there's another option. They've never heard of you. And also, say, for example, Two Tides, they used as an example before as somewhere that I did free nails. I literally just said, hey, I'm new in town, like, here's free nails. Not a single person expected to come back for free again. Like, not a single person thought that. But I've now been here 5.5 years. One of the girls that works there has come back for Christmas nails every year. However, this Christmas, she's kept them on. She's now 4 backfills in, and she's decided now to, like, treat herself, prioritize her money differently, start looking after her nails. That's a 5.5 year investment, but I freaking got her.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
I was just going to say, what would you say, Penny, too? Like those ones where you were going in and they were like, no, I can't have my nails done this time. So would you recommend that you leave your contact details, business card or the such, the like?
potentially, I'll play it by vibe, because the thing is, I might have walked into that shop and realized that actually the vibe I'm picking up off them is not friendly, and I don't want them to come for nails. So,
Yeah.
but in that situation, depending on the vibe, it depends on the vibe. It depends what they said, because in the moment, I might be like, okay, well, I could do next week. Like, I could, do you want me to put you in? Because I'm committed to doing this once a day for the next month, so I can always put you in for next week. And you have to know that because there's no money exchanging, some of them will cancel and you can't be disappointed. That's just going to happen sometimes. But like, so you might do that, or you might say, okay, fair enough that you don't get your nails done. Would you be interested in your women's only clothing store and having an open evening one night, and we could work together? I'll go halves with you on wine, or I'll get the wine, you get the nibbles. I'll do manicures in a corner, and it'll bring people in to look at your clothes. Would you be interested in hosting that evening? And the manicures will be $10 to cover product, but really I just want people to meet me. Would you be interested in hosting that? Or again, depending on the vibe, maybe it's, okay, cool, no worries, thank you so much, and you walk out, but you immediately follow them on Instagram so that they see you pop up, and then every time they post, you comment, because they were friendly, but they weren't the right person for you in that moment, but you want them to keep remembering who you are. So you start engaging aggressively with their social media so that they know who you are. And I guarantee you, in a month or a year or in 5.5 years, they'll come to you for wedding nails or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would play the vibe. I would decide in what form I think they best serve me. And if the way they best serve me is to never be spoken to again, that's the box they fall into. But if I think that actually they were super, super fun, and seemed like the exact right person, they were such a vibe and I loved them, what can I do to keep that relationship?
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool, you don't get your nails done. What if I got a bunch of vouchers printed and you can put one in every bag exclusive to your shop? For the month of February, these vouchers are exclusive to your shop, 20% off or $20 off or whatever, and you get a bunch printed, you put their logo on it, it becomes something they can promote. Everyone who shops here gets a half price manicure with Little Moon nails in the month of February, and that voucher goes into every bag with everything they sell, and then in March you do it with a different company. You just got to go and grab their hand and bring them in. But like, if you are full-time and your goal is to be full-time nails, then that's what you do. You go out, you drop the kids off at daycare, and then you go straight to your job, which is getting clients.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Penny from the future back again to quickly interrupt and remind you to sign up for the Salon Success Accelerator, an 8-week course that helps you unleash your salon's full potential. Find out more at monaco.ac.nz/course/accelerator.
For me personally, I find I have 2 weeks that are always pretty booked up, maybe a gap, but sometimes I like to leave a gap for the odd reschedule. But then I have 1 week, which happens to be this week, so it's a bit of a lull, and they're very patchy and spread out, and it's really frustrating. And I try to get people to book closer together, but it just doesn't seem to work out that way. And I just want to fill that week up, so that's something that I want to work on. Over the next month for sure.
I think that random quiet week is universal. I will often have like 2 or 3 crazy weeks and then a week of almost nothing. And I've got small town. I'm friends with my competitors here, and I've said it to all of them, and they're all like, yeah, same.
Yeah, I do find in the space I'm in, the lash girls are similar. So even different profession, same industry, obviously, but different service, they're the same as well. But it just frustrates me. I don't know whether that week I just reduced my hours and spend, because one of my other goals is to improve my admin, which is my biggest weakness.
Well, that's your admin week then.
Yeah, I need to be more consistent. I want to be more consistent with my admin, my invoicing and loading expenses into my accounting software, and work on my social media planner and all of that kind of stuff. Like, that's massive for me this year, because it's something in this, however long I've been doing this now, I think 6 years, I've never really focused on properly. Even though I have the knowledge, the whole idea of it is just overwhelming, and for me it just gets put in the too hard basket all the time. So I think this year I really want to, like, get to the end of, or get to this time next year and be like, yes, I'm doing this now and it's working, because I know that that's probably going to help fill that gappy week too.
Do you think it's frustrating because you're super routine based, or is it frustrating because for another reason?
Yeah, it's frustrating because I find, so because I travel to an external space 3 days a week, my days at home are fine. I don't mind if there's a gap, because I can get things done around the house, what have you. But if I'm traveling to my external space, I want that to be full. I don't want gaps. I just want to get my work done and get out. Like, obviously I can use gap times to do cleaning and that sort of thing, which needs to be done, but I don't want heaps of it.
Yeah.
I just want to be able to be there, making the most of my time there, earning money, and then go home.
One thing I do that you might already do, but also maybe knowing you don't do this in case it annoys people. At the start of the day or the night before, I will always message people and be like, hey, by any chance, would you be available for 2:15 instead of 2:40? No stress if not. It's only to fill a gap. And then most people say yes, and I bunch them all up together. Or I'll say, just letting you know I'm available from 11:30 today. If you want to come any earlier, no stress if not. Someone else will take it. Like, I make it really like, you don't have to. I don't care if you do or not, but also do it. Like, and then it bunches everybody up together, and then I'll put in a block, because I'm really bad at task switching. So, like, if I have a bitsy day, it just fucks my whole day for getting anything else done.
I'm a wee bit similar to you in that sense, Penny. I need to, because otherwise, if I have task switching, I end up on a bit of a tangent and I want to do half the task, and then it just frustrates me that it's not done, and then I'm just like, ugh, and then I get overwhelmed and all of those things. So, I think I need to start implementing that technique a bit more, and then I can be like, right, that bit's done for my day, do this bit, and then do that bit, and then I'll probably feel a bit more motivated, because otherwise I get that paralysis.
Yeah.
And then I do something stupid like doom scroll.
That's what I was about to say.
And waste an hour. And then I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing? Excuse my French. But I literally say that to myself. I'm like, I've just wasted an hour and I have stuff all spare time. Why am I doing this?
Okay, two things. First of all, 1,000% agree. If I have a 40-minute gap, I'll be like, well, I'll just check a couple of emails, but quickly I'll just look at Facebook. And then it's like 8 minutes to go until my next client. I'm like, okay, well, I can't do an email in 8 minutes, which is horseshit, because if I was focused, I'd do like 7 emails in 8 minutes. But I'll be like, well, I can't possibly do one now. So then I'll go out to the salon and scroll there instead. And then so sometimes I'll put a book in the salon, so in those gaps I'll read my book. But then I'm like, no, because what if I get into it and then I have to stop? Like, it's so stupid. But also, though, the other day, literally like last week, I downloaded an app called Screen Zen, and it's got a little like black, the black square with 3 purple lines in it. And what I did, so some of you might already know this, but I don't have any of the social apps on my phone, but I do have Messenger, which I didn't until I met Josh. And then we spent too much money on sending pictures to each other on text message, so I had to download Messenger, because I am So now I have Messenger, but then sometimes we would be in the middle of a conversation, but I'd be waiting for him to reply. So then I downloaded Chrome again, which I didn't have. And then on Chrome, I can access Facebook. And so it kind of went down a rabbit hole. So anyways, now on Screens In, what I did is I've literally only got it maybe 4 or 5 days ago. But I have a thing so that I can open Chrome. So I don't have the Facebook app on my phone at all. I don't have the Instagram app, none of that. If I want to look at them, I have to go on my computer, which makes it annoying. But I can use Chrome. So I've made it through Screens In that I can open Chrome 5 times a day, and each time for 10 minutes. And it has a thing, you can choose what it is. When I open Chrome, it makes me do a math equation before it will let me continue into Chrome. And every time I open it, so the second time I open Chrome, I have to do 2 maths. And the third time I open Chrome, I have to do 3 maths.
That is evil.
Well, because you can change it. I set it as maths because it's evil. But you can change it to something different. Or you can have no interruption thing. Like, it's really flexible how you can set it up. But it literally pops up. So if I click on Chrome right now, it'll say, so all I've opened, and it says, is this important? On the whole thing of the screen. Is this important? Chrome, 5 out of 5 left. Streak, 9 days. And then I can click continue. And
I love that.
Continue, it'll make me do a math problem, and then it'll let me into Chrome. But because it stopped and said, is this important? I cannot tell you how many times a day I open Chrome and it says, is this important? And I go, oh shit, no, it's not. And I close it again.
I love that. I've written that down. I'm going to download it later.
It's so good.
The settings in my phone also do something similar. It's under digital well-being, and you can control how many times and for how long you can go into each app.
Magical.
Yep.
I wanted to touch back on something. I don't know if you guys, I can't remember because we recorded them so long ago, who was in these episodes with me, or if you've listened to them. But in one of the most recent episodes to have aired, I talked about my big money goal for monthly stuff. Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
I think
I do.
yes.
I think I vaguely do as well, yeah.
Okay. I wanted to really quickly touch on it because we're nearly out of time. But I wanted to give an update because it's the best thing I've ever done.
Do you need a job role?
No, because it's too bitsy. The drum roll would be anticlimactic. But okay, so for the quick recap for those who haven't listened to the episode, so because last year was so hard and never-ending wintry, and I struggled with money because all of the cost of living crisis and the recession and all these things, meaning that people are just spending less and being more careful with their money. And so I spent all winter stressed about money, but realized in roughly like October that if I had been careful with my money in summer, which is when Monaco, the Salon, and the Airbnb are all busier in summer, if I had been more careful with that money, I could have prepaid all of my bills except my mortgage for last year by the end of February. So my goal became to do that this summer, and first I had to save up a month's worth of bills so I could change Fresher, the booking software, to be able to pay me monthly instead of weekly, because you can choose. So I first saved up, then mid-November is when I changed it to monthly. That means on the 1st of December, I got a quote-unquote monthly pay, but it was only for 2 weeks because that's when I had changed it to monthly, was only 2 weeks earlier. And then with that money, I had to budget so freaking carefully because I was not getting more money until the 1st of January, which, if you ever do this, please remember that the 1st of January is a public holiday, and this year it also landed next to a weekend, which means I actually didn't get paid until the 5th or 6th of January, which I had not factored in, so I was waiting for money. However, what it meant is that my Airbnb money got paid on the 6th, my Fresher money got paid on the 6th, and then I also changed Monaco's, if we get paid by credit. My dog is snoring in the background, but I'm not going to, he's so loud. I wasn't going to wake him up, but Riddles. He waggled his tail and he stopped snoring. I don't know. If Monaco gets paid by credit card or Afterpay, we get it. Credit card comes through the next day. Afterpay comes through 2 or 3 days later. But Stripe, our payment plans and stuff, I can set when I get those. So I changed that to monthly as well. And I got that on the 6th. So on the 6th, I got a butt ton of money. And what I did was I went through, and these are the things I achieved by changing stuff monthly. I've got a list I sent my best friend at the time. So first of all, I shopped around my mobile phone plans. Last year, I spent $1,300 because there's a Monaco SIM and my personal / salon SIM, both in my phone. Last year, I spent $1,300 having both on plans with Vodafone or 1NZ, whatever. I found this time the Monaco phone, I don't actually need any data on it. I just need to be able to answer calls. And when with 2 degrees, I was able to move to an $8 a month plan and then transfer $96 that is just sitting there on the 2 degrees app as a credit. So I've prepaid a year's worth of the Monaco SIM. And then through Kogan, I found a plan that you can prepay annually, but also they were having a Boxing Day sale that didn't expire until the 12th of January. And Reddit says they do these 50% sales for basically any occasion. So watch for those, don't pay full price. But I got a full year of Kogan because it had the better data and stuff like that for personal use for $198, meaning my annual mobile went from $1,300 to $300 and is prepaid for the year.
Well, damn.
Then I cancelled my ad in the local newsletter thingy, which was only going up during the school holidays, but I decided to pause it until next summer because I don't think the ROI is worth my current goals. I prepaid the money I saved off my mobile because it had been budgeted for $1,300. That means I had a spare $1,000. That meant I was able to move 2 of Monaco's software subscription type things onto the annual plan, which then in turn saved me $350 on those annual plans. I then changed my broadband down to the next plan down because I hadn't looked at it in a while. And I was still on the same fiber plan from when I was with Carl a couple of years ago, and he was running an IT business. And I realized I did not need the speed of the plan I was on. So that went down, and then I transferred a year's worth of money to the account. So like I got a text yesterday being like, your bill's ready. The balance is like little minus sign for credit, like $996, like kind of thing. So I don't have to do anything with that. I changed my wheelie bin. So in my council area, there is a council bin, but you have to go buy a tag from the dairy for $8.50 or something and put it on the bin and pay to have it taken away. But that isn't how they used to do it. They used to have just a bag, but you still had to buy the bag. And lots of people had independent contracts with a different wheelie bin supplier when it was just a bag system. I still have that independent contract. So I changed my wheelie bin to a bigger sized bin, but fortnightly pickups, saved $80 and paid that annually. So I don't use my one that I buy a tag for. It just sits in the driveway. But so I saved $80 on the wheelie bin. I changed my car insurance to Cove through Sharesies because AA wouldn't match them, even though I've been with them since I was 19. But by changing to Cove, I saved $250.
I've looked at them.
My health insurance. The only thing I didn't like was that I could only prepay until September pro rata, and then I need to repay it in September. But it did mean that because I was only able to pay it pro rata, I only paid $800, which was less than I budgeted. I also added 2 add-on module things that I immediately made money back on because I researched the thing and I realized that one of the modules you can add on I could use to claim back my osteopath, which I have to see fortnightly no matter what, sometimes weekly, and another one could claim dental on, and it came into effect on the 19th, and I had a dental appointment on the 19th, and I worked out both of those modules. The annual amount for the module was less than what I could immediately claim back on two things I was going to pay for anyway. So I added those modules, and because I have them, I was going to spend that money anyway. I already made it back on those two things, but now I also get the extra benefits of the modules. So I get like a free flu vax. I have $75 towards prescriptions, like all these extra things that are now literally free because I was going to spend that money anyway. I transferred a year's worth of KiwiSaver because I'm self-employed. I only transfer $30 a week into KiwiSaver, which $20 a week is enough to qualify for the free money we get from the government so KiwiSaver is superannuation for those overseas. But if you put your own contribution of like $1,000 and something, the government will give you a little bit of free money as like a bonus. So I only transfer $30 a week. $20 a week works out enough to get the bonus, but I do 30 just in case shit hits the fan. Prepaid that. But that means that I am now earning interest, although not because of certain political things happening. I've now lost shares have plummeted. But I've prepaid that, and that can earn interest all year. Same thing with Sharesies, which is, for those who don't know, it's a really easy way to do share trading without needing to know anything. And I usually put $20 a week into that, but I prepaid a year's worth. Also, I have always had an automatic thing to get a $7 lotto ticket every week because I figure I would blow $7 on a block of chocolate. So why not blow it on a lotto ticket I'm not going to win anything off? So I put a year's worth of lotto money into my lotto.
You might want to
that will just happen. And then I'll forget to check it because there's no money going out of my account. And in a year's time, I'll realize that I won First Division 9 months earlier. I paid for my new dishwasher, which I was putting off because I got it under insurance because it putted out, but I couldn't justify it. But I got my A into G and I did the insurance claim and I paid the excess on that. So now it's sitting in my dining room waiting to be installed. Everything I couldn't prepay got moved into an account called holding, but I transferred every single thing in the individual amount with a reference that said like electricity in or osteopath in or whatever. So it was in individual amounts, meaning that if I transferred it out, my brain told me I had to transfer that exact amount out again with the out reference so that I couldn't be like, I'll just borrow $5. Like I couldn't because I'd made it magical. So my rates are outstanding, my annual power is outstanding, and my annual house and contents is outstanding because they didn't fit in that budget. But those are all the things I achieved with my very first monthly pay. I also was able to do 2 months worth of a couple of Salon stock orders, meaning that I halved my shipping costs because I got 2 months worth under one courier fee. I also was able to do the supermarket delivery because there's no supermarket here. So I was able to do the delivery and hit the amount that got me the cheapest delivery fee. There was a few
bulk's always better.
Pardon?
They always say bulk's better, right? And I think it works in more than just one context.
Yeah. But yeah, so those are all the things. I think there's probably more, but like it'll get boring. But those are all the things I achieved with my first monthly pay. And I did nothing fun. Like that's a lie because I did use $240 to book a motel in Whitianga that me and Josh just went to Whitianga for the night on Saturday night. He paid for the hot pools. I paid for the motel, but I used quote unquote free money. So if, say for example, Payment Express, I think it's called WinCave now. That's who processes our credit card transactions for Monaco. I get a monthly invoice. I had budgeted $150 for that monthly invoice. The invoice came through at like $108. So then that 22 or I forgot what numbers I said, but that change got transferred into my free money card, and all the little pieces of change added up to enough for me to get the motel, and then he did the hot pools, and we went and had like a little weekend away.
Nice.
So that's the one
That's
fun
cool.
thing I did.
Did you see, Penny, that Sharesies has a spend card now?
I did.
Yeah, I was thinking about trying to do, similar stuff to you, but and setting aside a certain amount into that spend account so that I have got some fun money,
Yeah.
because I find that I've always just pay the bill, get the teenager what the teenager needs, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm like, oh, there's $5 left. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so that's all the things that I achieved. I'm sure there was other little bits and pieces. I factored in buying a book because I have a lot of op shop and secondhand books, but that doesn't mean you get to choose the book you want, and I like reading paper. So I budgeted in buying a book. Like it was the third in a trilogy that I'd wanted for ages, so now I have all three. So like I did factor in a couple of little things, but mostly like I think I've spent maybe $40 total on like random crap at the dairy and stuff, where it would have normally been way worse than that when I wasn't tracking it. But because I've put money in places, I don't feel like it's my money to spend.
Yeah. I think that's awesome. I'm really happy for you because I know
Yeah.
that will make you happy.
It's just taking the stress off, really.
Yeah, definitely. Such a good idea.
Yeah, so what are your guys' takeaways before we wrap up this episode? Either something that you've thought of and you go, what is the thing that next year we're going to be like, how did we do?
I want people to know who I am in Monaco.
Yeah.
So next summer when I have clients here who are from Morrinsville, I'm going to be like, oh, do you ever see Mikkel? And they're going to be like, yeah, she's who told me to come here. I go to her every week.
Yeah.
3 times a week. 3 times a week. I'm her only client. Okay, so that's your goal, is for people to know who you are, and then your SMART goal is 5 people a week.
Yeah.
/20 a month.
Yeah.
Erin?
I think my biggest takeaway from this whole process, and like the podcast and then prepping for the podcast, like listening to the last year's episode, is actually writing things down. I think it helps me, and I'm really bad at making time to do it because I have it all rattling around in my head, and I know I should write things down, but I just don't do it.
Yeah, same.
And getting the Zen app, the Screen Zen app.
I have the Microsoft To Do app on my home screen of my phone, and when I'm like mid-client and I think of something, I'll be like, I just have to write a reminder for myself, and I add it into the To Do app, and it just sits there in the parking space.
I need to do that because I do have it on my laptop but not on my phone.
And so next year when we revisit this episode, what are you hoping what are we listening for?
That I've learnt to manage admin and not been overwhelmed by it. Yeah, that's my number one goal. Like that's at the top of my list, is to improve all my admin related routine. Yeah, have a routine, have an admin routine.
Yeah. Crystal?
Mine will be, I'm going to make it 4 clients a week.
And so when we revisit next year, all you care is that you got four clients a week average.
Yeah, 4 clients a week average. And obviously people knowing who I am.
Yeah, going and getting them.
Yeah.
And we have growth boundaries. And staying focused. Mine, I think, is literally just that this time next year, it'll be maintenance mode. Like I'll be with my money and stuff. It won't be stressed. It won't be climbing out of a hole. It'll be, this is coming up due because I prepaid it annually last year, but because I haven't been paying it this whole time, I can just take it out of my monthly pay. Like that's pretty much my only goal. And to stay focused, but like more about last year was really when I said I wanted to be focused, it was that I wanted to like head down, run campaigns, like sort shit out, but actually I just want to like, I don't know, dial it down a little bit. I would love that to be my life, but realistically I'm setting myself up for failure. I actually just want to not be stressed.
Yeah.
Get into a space of like just comfortable and content would be nice, eh?
Yeah, just not being in fight or flight all the time.
Yeah, I 100% resonate with that. I think the economy is slowly improving. Like we've been in this COVID hangover period for such a long time now, and then there's natural disasters have happened and things like that. But I do think the economy is slowly improving. I have noticed like even some of my regular clientele spending a little bit more, like buying some retail and things like that.
Yeah.
So I do think it is slowly recovering, and hopefully this year will be even better than last in that respect.
As I say all the time, don't project your budget onto other people, because we are all feeling exhausted and like there's stuff going on. But at the end of the day, there's still people out there that are rich.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lucky
Yep.
bastards.
No such thing as luck, Crystal. They went out there to the local cafe and they dragged that person to their business.
100%.
All right, so if you want to share your word of the year or tell us your goals and then we can revisit yours as well, you can actually send us a voicemail at speakpipe.com/salon success, and then we can feature it on the potty, or you can email us or whatever if you don't want to put it as your voice. So with that done and dusted though, before you disappear, like our page, follow the podcast so you don't miss the next episode. We will be back next week, and we have no plan. We are winging it. Until then, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube by searching Monaco Nail Academy, or follow our salons. Mine is Hard Lacquer NZ.
Mine is Crystal Blythe Nail Artist, and that is spelled CHRISTELBLYTH. Nail Artist, obviously normal.
Mine is Adorn Nail Boutique.
And mine is Little Moon Nails.
And if you know anyone in Fielding, Christchurch, or Morrinsville, please tag them and tell them that Mikkel and Crystal and Erin exist. Have a great week, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
See ya.